before we go, I reached out to Chris Weidman to get his thoughts on Tom Petty. As we reported via TMZ just moments ago, he has not passed, according to TMZ. He is on life support, but I know he's a big part. I was talking about the symbolism of the walkouts and everything, so I just wanted to quickly have Chris on to ask him about this, and he is kind enough to join us now for just a couple of minutes. We have tracked him down. Chris, are you there?
Yo, what's up, Ariel?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been a tough day. There's so much going on in the world, so much to be sad about, and of course, with what's happened in Las Vegas, and I know you fought there many times, and you have great memories from Las Vegas. And then we get the news about Tom Petty, and initially there was a report, I think, from the LA Times that he had passed, but now TMZ is saying he's on life support, but it's not looking good. And so, of course, I just thought of you and wanted to have you on to essentially ask you why that song means so much to you, and why he means so much to you, and you know, your thoughts on him. And I reached out to you when I heard that he had passed, and now we got this news that, you know, there's some erroneous report, but happy to have you on anyway, just to talk about the song and you know, why it represents you so well.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because I didn't know that he's on life support now. I just heard recently that he passed away too. My cousin had texted me. So that's good news that he hasn't passed. Hopefully he could fight through this. But his song, man, it was the perfect picking for me because it was before my Anderson Silva fight, the first one, and I felt like the world was pretty much against me. You know, I had everybody doubting me, and I was going against the greatest of all time, a guy who was undefeated, and a guy who people really didn't think could be beat, especially by a guy who was 9-0. So I thought it was just a very fitting song, the "Won't Back Down" theme. You know, you back at the gates of hell, and you won't back down. And that's kind of I just felt like it was the perfect thing. And then since then, it's kind of been Tom Petty and "Won't Back Down" kind of became like synonymous with me. Like anytime a song would come on in somebody's car, I would get a tweet. You know, just thinking of you. I just heard Tom Petty and you know, "Won't Back Down" in the car, and I love that Walkout song. And yeah, so it's just it's been really cool. A lot of his songs are really cool. And then if you got to know him, I never got to know him on a personal level, but just listen to some of his interviews. He's just a very quiet guy, and especially being such a rock star. You know, he's not like all flamboyant and loud and boisterous. He's very laid back, almost like, you know, one of my favorite like one-liners or quotes is "walk quietly but carry a big stick," and he's definitely one of those guys. And so I respect him a lot, and he's had a tremendous career. And I'm happy that I was able to have his, you know, that song to walk out to.
Were you a big Tom Petty fan growing up? How did you come across the song?
I wasn't like a huge fan of much, like, as far as music. I wasn't like a big music listener. I mean, I'd listen to whatever was on the radio, but I came across a song. I was trying to figure out a walkout song, and I came across Tom Petty's song. At the time, I was trying to learn how to play guitar, so I started kind of getting into like that style of rock. And so I kind of came across that Tom Petty song, and I just thought it was a perfect fit.
I love it. I've said to you before that I think it's one of the best walkouts in the sport. I've said it on the show. It always seems to represent, like, it's funny because you're going into the Anderson fight and it's perfect, but even in the rematch, it's perfect because, like, people were doubting you and people didn't think that it was a legit win and that he was clowning around. And, like, on Long Island, I got chills. I was not in the arena for a second that night, but I made a point just to watch the walkout, and then I went back to watch it on television because I think it's a better vantage point. Like, you going in there on a 3-fight losing streak and everyone thinking that you're done. Yeah. I won't back down. It fits so many different phases of your career, so many different chapters. Yeah. I hope you never change it.
I always feel like my back's against the wall, and I think it does work. It works great with my career. I don't think I'll ever stop using it. So yeah, I think no matter what fight it was, it felt good. It gave me chills every single time, and the second it stopped giving me chills, is I would have been done with it, and it never stopped. So that's why I continue to use it. Even after the losses, usually, a lot of people will change their walkout song after suffering a loss, but I stuck with it, because it still gave me this like a really good feel-good energy, but also kind of amped me up at the same time to just go out there and not back down, just give my best and don't take a step backwards.
After Hurricane Sandy, I mean, you've been through so much. You represent that song beautifully. So I thought of you when I saw the news, and we're all hoping and praying that he can pull through this. That statement that came out doesn't seem entirely positive at this point, but it's better than the initial news that we got. Appreciate. Hey, by the way, Chris, since I have you, any news? What do you got? I know the cast came off. What do you got? Any good news that we can end the day on?
No good news yet. I'm still healing up. The hand is still not where I need it to be. So I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to get it checked out again. It's going to be a couple, maybe another few weeks actually till I'm able to train again. And then once I'm able to train, I'll get a fight booked. But I'm not going to book any fight until my hand feels 100%. So when I'm in training camp, there's no. I don't want any issues.
Right. So safe to say, probably taking the rest of the year off, right?
Not safe to say. We'll see.
Okay.
It depends on. I mean, hopefully it heals up tomorrow, and it's better, and then I'll get cleared and get the training. But right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But hopefully, it does.
I see you doing things for MSG, blowing up all over the place. I mean, you're doing all kinds of great things, mainstream stuff, sports talk, all that.
Yeah, man, it's life is good. I don't know. I don't know how it's happening, but I guess I'm surrounded by good people.
My wife just discovered Instagram stories, and she was enthralled by your Japanese fighting fish on Saturday. She loved every second of it. Your play-by-play?
Are you trying to get me in trouble with animal rights activists?
No, I didn't know that was even a thing. But we were captivated. It was a slow build. You put them together, and then one attacked the other, and then you went back. I didn't even know that was an actual thing. I didn't know that you can actually have fish like that and had to be separated. It was great. Your stories are always very entertaining.
You're not supposed to put them together, but I was cleaning the water out of the tank, and I'm like, you know what? These fish have been stuck in one little, like they have a tank, and it's a little tiny tank, and it's split in half, and they're just going to live the rest of their lives just swimming in a circle with no excitement and never really being able to spread their wings. And those fish, when they get like angry and they want to, intimidate the other fish, they like spread real wide and their gills open up and they look really pretty. And I guess what they're trying to do is intimidate the other fish. And I was like, let me give them some excitement. And I wasn't going to let them kill each other, but a couple bites, it wasn't going to kill anybody, and give them something to think about for the next, for the rest of their life.
Yes. Well done. Well done. I have to say, it's been a depressing day, a sad day. I'm happy to end the day with you, Chris. It's great to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a terrible day. And I'm happy to do, I kind of feel like I'm just starting my day right now, but I've been engulfed in all the news all day. But anyway, it's nice to talk to you.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the minutes here on the show. Appreciate the time. And get well soon. Keep us posted on the hand as well. And please leave the fish alone, all right? They didn't do anything to you.
I got it, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Chris. There he is, Chris Weidman. Never backing down. Great to hear his thoughts